Now, when all of these are turned on, there's no way you have access to a normal phone. This is a dumb phone, first and foremost. Now, you basically and literally transformed your smartphone into a dumb phone without buying a dumb phone. One of the best apps that I know of that literally can make your smartphone into a dumb phone without you having to, buy a dumb phone is an app called Digital Detox. And this app it's not sponsored. I don't take sponsors. I don't even have an audience right now. But it's an app that I've been using to literally transform my phone. It's a bit slippery here. Gotta be careful. Into a dumb phone. So if you want to limit your phone so that you only can use a certain amount of apps, then Digital Detox is the perfect app. And the reason why I say that is it's an Android app, by the way. I don't know if it's on Apple, iOS, but the reason why I mentioned this app is because I know that there are a lot of apps that can kind of lock some other apps, right? They can limit your phone so that you only have access to a certain amount of apps. Or every app except the one that you lock. But this app, it does the opposite. It completely locks your app or phone except the apps that you want to have access to. And the fun thing about this, I'm going to demonstrate later via my screen how it works, but other apps that do things like that, they're very easy to work around. There's always like some loop, some way that you can kind of break that lock, go into system settings and turn it off. Or sometimes you can hack your way out of it just by pushing the back button or something and suddenly nothing is locked. Some things like that, But this app, it can never be breached. Once you've locked your phone to only have access to certain apps, this is the only app I've seen that can actually do that. And those who created this app, I thoroughly thank them, because there's nothing else on the market, on the App Store, at least last I saw, that has this strict, accessibility thing going on. It's impossible to work around. And the reason they made it this way is every time you try to, so first of all, you can decide, okay, I want to make my phone into a dumb phone in, the next 24 hours. Or you can decide 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 hours. That's up to you. So it locks itself to a dumb phone, and you only have, and I decide these apps are the ones I'm gonna have access to. Let's say YouTube, phone, messages, whatever it is, you decide. It's very customizable. What happens is the incentive for you to stay on the app is if you breach this, strict accessibility thing you have going on, if you somehow decide to opt out, and you can do that, you have to pay the makers of the app a certain amount that you decide. It can be, that's also customizable. It can be $200, it can be $20, it can be $2, $1. You decide, but it goes to the creators of the app, and they donate it to 50% or something to a donation or something. So every time you try to breach this app by saying, I quit the dopamine detox, that's what the app is called, you have to pay the creators. And nobody wants to do that, right? You don't want to pay the creators to be on your phone. You don't want to pay anybody to be on your phone, no matter how much it is. Obviously, if you have a higher amount, I usually have, like, in the beginning when I used it, I had $200 or something for 24 hours. If I breach, I have to stay off my phone or keep it in dumb phone. mode, right? If I breach it, I give them $200. Of course, I had to stay away from my phone for 24 hours. Nobody wants to pay $200, right? So that's a very big incentive to stay off your phone. And you're literally making it a dumb phone without buying a dumb phone. So that's an app that I really recommend. Super hard to work around. You can't work around. I've tried. So I'm gonna show you how this works. So let me show you the app itself, Digital Detox. As I said, I'm not sponsored by anybody, to be honest, as you probably know. So this is the Digital Detox app. And here you can see it has on top there, begin your detox, of course, and then you have, very simply, don't care about these point things. I don't really care about them. But if you look at the your detox, you can decide how long your detox is going to be. I usually did a 24 hours, without anything, without my phone, or I'll show you what it looks like. But I used to do 24 hours one day, right? You can do 1 hour, you can do 5 minutes, even 10 minutes. If you want to have a break from your phone, a short break, you can do that. So let's just, for the video's sake, let's keep it to 5 minutes. And I'll demonstrate what it looks like. And here, as you can see the apps. You can select which apps that you want to disable, or that you want to keep and not keep. So that you can do here. And if you want to remove apps from your detox, you can just long press the app itself and you have the option to remove it. I'll show you how that works. There's also tiers here: easy tier, medium, and hard. Grandmaster is 2 days, hard is 1 day, medium is 8 hours, easy is 2 hours. You can decide how long based on these tiers as well. But for this video's sake, let's keep it short as possible. I'll start it and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, you gotta, okay, I'll cut this part out of the video, but I have to grant permission. Let me see. Or I can keep it. Of course, granted permission. That's the first thing you have to do. Permission doesn't mean that it has access to everything. It's just, it is granted the permission to be overlaid on your phone over every other app, right? So, okay, let's start. So, when you start, what you see is here, are you sure you won't be able to use your phone for 5 minutes? You can quit early, but it will cost you an accountability fee of 24 kroners. I live in Norway, so it's kroners, not USD, but that's approximately $2. In the event of an emergency, you can shortly exit out for free. Yeah, so I forgot to talk about that. You have 3 emergency chances in a way, where if there's an emergency that happens, you can tap out for a minute or two and do what you need to do. I think it's three chances like that. But you can go into the settings and you can decide to have no emergency tap outs at all. I used to do that, and basically what that does is it makes it even stricter, because if there's an emergency, you can't really tap out. So let's begin. As you can see, this is what it looks like. It didn't used to look like this 2 years ago, but it does now. I think there used to be a background, but it doesn't. And I can't work around this. That's the great thing about it. I've tried going to the settings. I've tried pushing every button here. In other apps, as I've said previously in the beginning of this video, it's very easy to go into settings and kind of, see even that. that was my wallet or something, I can't access anything. And on other apps, as I said, it's very easy to go out and something like this would happen, and you suddenly have a hack or something, and you can access the phone in that way, right? But that's not possible here. This is the only app. See, AI select closed. This is the only app I've seen that stays away, completely stays away from accessing your phone. So yeah, let's see what it looks like if I go for emergency use. I have 3 times 2 minutes left. If I long press it, right here we have some history. So this shows me my history. Oh, this was okay. So it was on an app already because I pushed it previously, right? But it gives you 2 minutes, right, to get into your app. But as I said, now after you use this one, you only have 2 taps left, 2 emergency uses left, and you can actually remove the emergency option. But this is, I don't know, maybe you want to have 1 or 2 chances or tap outs, emergency uses, so that, I don't know, if there's something that comes up and you really have to use your phone, you have 2 minutes here, right? As you can see down here, you have these 2 minutes, I'm sorry, down here, right? So what happened now is I didn't push it. I succeeded on my digital detox for those 5 minutes. And it shows you all of these stats. I don't really care about these. But that's what happened. So if we want to look at, I want to look at the apps again. If you look at the apps, let me see. Here, this is what's interesting for me. You can see allowed apps. If you go into allowed apps and you go to main, it needs permission to collect your app statistics to recognize your whitelisted app. DDC is not gathering any sensitive information. So we have to push this digital detox, and now we can actually go to select allowed apps. So let's go here, main, and then we can literally customize our dumb phone to be as we want it. Only those apps, these are all my apps, only those apps that we want to have access to in this digital detox, we can allow. So let's say I want to have access to only the phone. I want to make it let's say I want to make it a proper dumb phone. In the previous detox, when you saw just now 5 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago, where I had it for a 5-minute setting, you saw that I didn't have access to any apps. So it was basically a brick, minus the emergency usage things. But now I want to make it to a dumb phone. So this is the phone, right? That's one app I want to use, and I want to keep it to what I used to do is no limit, because on a dumb phone you don't have a limit on how much you call somebody, right? Then you have messages. So let's have this on the same. Maybe I want to read books, right? Kindle. And you can also, I don't want to have anything to do with the internet, so any browser, let's not have anything to do with that. If you have a car and you need your app for that, great. So nothing online related. We also have a pay app in Norway, Vips, can be useful. And then you have maps, maybe you want to use that, I don't know. A couple of examples. So these are the apps I want to keep as, we can rename it to dumb phone, right? This would make it a dumb phone. You don't have to do this, but you can keep it as main if you want to, but dumb phone, let's call it that. Activate, and then you have hide status bar. here you can prevent power off, because in a lot of the other apps you can basically power off and on and the app is not running, right? Hide notifications if you completely want to, no emergency use. So this is the interesting one. If you don't want to even have the emergency option available, you can push this. And then a warning comes up, no emergency use. This means that there really is no way out of the challenge. Remember, you agreed that the provider of this app is not liable for any loss or damage caused to you by the use of the app. And this sounds very dramatic, as if something very dangerous can happen. And of course, if you set it to 2 hours, 2 years, don't do that. You have to get yourself a new phone. That's how powerful this tool is. Don't do that. Of course, there is damage, as this prompter says, or whatever this is, this sign says, pop up. Please keep it to 24 hours max, 48 hours max. So let's agree here. Now, when all of these are turned on, there's no way you have access to a normal phone. This is a dumb phone, first and foremost. Now you basically and literally transformed your smartphone into a dumb phone without buying a dumb phone. So this is what's going to happen. Now, let me see, during detox, let's look at these quickly. And a lot of different options. I don't want to, here you can emergency use duration 2 minutes, initial emergency use is 3. A lot of customization you can do. Show congrats screen to do, do not disturb. All of these things you can fancy around with when you are, using it, but we don't have to do it here. So let's start. And that's what I love. You did it. Congratulations, you gained. I don't care about this point stuff, achievements and things like that, but so this is an app that is absolutely amazing. I love this app. It's the best app, digital detox for for this type of offline lifestyle, if you want to have an offline lifestyle, which is what we talk about here. Back to the regular screen. Highly recommend this app if you want to beat your internet addiction. And literally, if you don't want to buy a dumb phone, go for this app. You'll save money. And if you don't crack, of course, if you have to pay $100 every time you crack, you're not saving money. Get yourself a dumb phone. But if you don't want to get a dumb phone, this app is amazing. You can't work around it. You have an incentive to keep going, and that is to not lose money. So many customizable options.